The Lost Continent, a land where ancient myths turned to reality, a place where beasts came to life, an area that you probably just walked through to get to the other parts of the park because Universal decided to let it rot. I always wonder what made Universal decide to leave the Lost Continent area abandoned. While technically not abandoned, there's absolutely nothing to do besides eating at the #1 theme park restaurant in the world, which, if you were concerned, is here to stay. But what was surprising to me is why they decided to cancel any activities going on with what seemed like no clear plan for the future. But finally, we have some sort of update, as the park recently filed permits for demolition. I do want to mention that they did not specifically mention the land, but what else could it be? The real question everyone is wondering is, what is next for the Lost Continent? And that, my friends, is exactly what we'll be looking at today. I want to quickly mention that this is pure speculation and I am not claiming to be an expert or factually correct in any way. The first new land we'll be looking at is a Zelda themed area. If you've paid any attention to any sort of anything online, you've probably seen this mentioned more than anything else. And it makes sense. With Universal already having massive success with Nintendo at multiple parks with Mario and Donkey Kong, Zelda feels like the next big step. The theming could line up perfectly too, with castles, dungeons, and forests. This could easily fill the fantasy vibe that is being taken from the Lost Continent. I could envision the Hyrule Castle being the centerpiece of the land, including something like a state-of-the-art dark ride, similar to Monsters Unchained or the Battle of Ministry at Epic Universe, which are already extremely impressive in their own right. A new family coaster would also make sense too, and if I had to take a stab at what that would be, I think a single rail family coaster themed to Link's horse would be a perfect addition to the park. The land would also likely be filled with numerous interactive zones and puzzles, just like the ones that can be used at Epic Universe with the Mario's power-up bin. With the wild success of the current Nintendo-themed lands, I think adding yet another fan-favorite property would make perfect sense for Universal and would greatly satisfy its enthusiasts. Another land I suspect that could be making its way to Universal Orlando soon would be an area themed to Wicked, most likely being the city of Oz. Now I say Universal Orlando because to me it would make more sense to add the land as an expansion to Epic while adding Zelda to Islands of Adventure. But nonetheless, I think it's important we discuss the land because ultimately I have little to no doubt that we will be seeing the Land of Oz brought to Orlando. The Emerald City would allow for yet another beautiful immersive land that could house state-of-the-art dark rides. A family coaster themed to broom riding would also be fun for guests of all ages and could take you through a potentially beautiful environment. With the hype of the recent Wicked movie and another one on the way, it makes perfect sense for Universal to capitalize on its success. Another idea for a land I've seen floating around is a Scooby-Doo themed area. While this idea may seem like more of a wild card, Universal does have the potential licensing agreements for a Scooby-Doo themed land. Scooby-Doo would not only have a strong appeal to children, but older generations as well. A Scooby-Doo themed land could potentially mean a haunted dark ride, and with new technology that Universal has, this could be an interactive ride like Bowser's Challenge. And what would the land be without a Scooby-Doo meet and greet, which is an area that Universal has always excelled in? The big question would be, is Scooby-Doo strong enough to justify a prime piece of real estate? Probably less likely than Zelda, but still a fun idea that fans have been bringing up. The last and what I feel like is less likely than any of the previously mentioned lands would be an expansion to the Harry Potter area. Yes, more Harry Potter. Whether you like it or not, Harry Potter is Universal's biggest cash cow. Although, with the brand new Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Epic Universe, I see this expansion as unlikely. The only real thing I could see them doing with the area would be creating an immersive Forbidden Forest. While the idea would be cool, I'm not sure what they could really add as for rides, as I feel like they'd want to keep an outdoor vibe for the land, and Hagrid's is already right next door. Personally, I don't see this being viable, but I've seen it mentioned so many times that I thought I'd quickly touch on it. So after analyzing just about every forum on the internet and thinking for hours on end about what could replace the Lost Continent, A Zelda-themed land makes more sense than anything else to me. I'd be curious to see any suggestions or potential lands you think we could see down below in the comments, even if they're unlikely. I'd love to see what you guys are wanting for the park. I greatly appreciate you guys for checking out the channel and hope this isn't the last time our paths cross. Thank you for watching and have an amazing rest of your day.